Right. So turning brand purpose into brand action. There's a very particular reason that I've chosen this topic for the discussion today. Um, I think the role of digital, the role of technology in sales enablement, in commerce, in lead generation is actually quite well acknowledged by now. Um, but I think one of the things that's not discussed often enough is the fact that digital can also play a significant role in higher order objectives like brand building. And what I'm going to do today is actually I'm going to zoom into one case study which demonstrates how this can be done, how digital and technology can actually be an enabler from a brand building standpoint. The second reason I've chosen this particular case study to deep dive into is, I think you guys saw Shiv's presentation earlier, and a lot of searches, a lot of digital interest is actually coming from tier 2 cities. A lot of it is in local languages, and this is a case study that addresses that. Otherwise, one of the concerns with digital has been, okay, great, we'll tap into the top 200 million people. What after that? I think this is in the direction of what we can do with that. So having said that context, I'll just start. So before I actually get into the case study, my grandfather used to be a builder. So he had a significant labor force working with him. And he took a lot of initiatives in terms of, helping educate the kids of those laborers, right? He'd send them to schools, he'd get them tutors. But the other thing that he also did is he kind of encouraged us, the kids in the family, to spend time with them. And when I look back, I realized that the laborers really appreciated it because their kids would pick up English, their kids would pick up etiquette from us, and they knew that those skills would be useful for them going forward. Now imagine if a brand could play that role for people out there. That'd be powerful, right? And I think that kind of thinking is extremely critical in this day and age because I think everyone in this room will acknowledge that the way we go about brand building has changed significantly. I mean, what it takes to get attention, to build a relationship with this constantly connected, constantly distracted audience is something which is a whole new beast altogether. Right. So traditionally, the way of building brands is obviously, you take a proposition, you tell an interesting story around it. Maybe it's humor, maybe it's emotion. But the reality is that in many sectors, in many categories today, if you just amplify your proposition, you end up becoming a commodity, right? What it takes to connect with the modern audience, or the young audience especially, is helping them understand why you as a brand are actually in this society. What is it that you're going to do? And I think that's led to a new paradigm, which is basically shifting from proposition to purpose. I think many of you in the room probably are thinking about what your brand purpose is, or have already defined what your brand purpose is. The thing with purpose is, I think brands with a purpose may be something that's we've arrived at as a result of market forces. But I, for one, think that it's an excellent thing because it's forcing brands to make positive contributions to the society and the communities around them. And that's something that's, improving the world around us. And the reason that happens is because purpose is not something you can just say, right? Purpose is best brought alive by the actions that you take. Whether you're a brand, whether you're a person. If you say, my purpose is X, Y, Z, you need to demonstrate in your action how you're actually going to bring that alive. And that's really leading to a lot of great initiatives by brands. Now, if you're a service brand like an Amazon or a Starbucks, your purpose actually kind of comes alive through your actions, through your offering. I mean, Starbucks will, make sure you get coffee with a smile. Amazon will make sure you get delivery the same day or the next day. And they're bringing alive their brand purpose and brand actions through that. If you're a product brand like Tesla, the very problem that they're solving, which is, clean environment, transportation for a clean environment, that itself is the action for your purpose. But say if you're an established, traditional FMCG brand, right, it takes a little more work, it takes a little more thinking. And that's really what I brought to the table for you today. So this is for Rin. I'm sure everyone in this room is well versed with the brand. Rin is a Hindustan Unilever brand. And the brand purpose for Rin is really to help people shine. Now, quickly, by a show of hands, how many people in this room would agree to the statement that, you had a quality education growing up? I, for one, do, right? So I think most of us in this room had that. We were taught how to speak English well. We were taught basic etiquettes. We were taught how to present ourselves in interviews. Now, the reality is, in India, we've got tons of educational institutes, but most of them have just turned into degree churning machines. So there are a lot of people, from poorer households or from, outlying cities who actually end up with a degree in hand, but what they don't have is the soft skills required to actually land jobs afterwards. Because the reality is, apart from your degree and your technical skills, for good jobs, most interviewers, and most of us in this room are interviewers at some point or the other, are always looking for your business communication skills, your English speaking skills, and so on. And so what you end up with is a whole bunch of people with a paper in their hand, not actually getting jobs. So RIN's brand purpose is actually helping people shine. And how that manifests itself in reality is helping people shine in the context of their careers. So if you've seen, some of the RIN TVCs, what they do is they talk about how, clean pressed clothes actually help them with job interviews and so on. But how do you translate that into a deeper, more meaningful action? So the context that I just gave you about all those people who don't have the soft skills for jobs, that's where RIN decided to step in as a brand. Can we have the case video, please?
One of the key gaps that we're finding in a lot of job seekers today is a lack of soft skills. While they have all the requisite degrees, they struggle with the skills and the professional etiquette that is required for them to get through the job interviews and progress in their careers.
RIN, a leading detergent brand from Unilever, has always stood for bright clothes that give you the confidence to realize your dreams. The RIN Career Ready Academy was conceived as an initiative that went beyond laundry to empower people with the skills and confidence required to be employment ready. Given the scale of the opportunity, the Academy wasn't about traditional classrooms of bricks and mortar, but instead one of bits and bytes. However, there was a problem.
The requirements were challenging. We needed a scalable, economical, and sustainable platform to cater to multi-market rollouts and multiple languages. And it had to do this across devices and bandwidth, including 2G feature phones.
We started from scratch, mapping user personas and creating unique user journeys for each. Using material design, gamification, and interactive content cards, we built a platform that was responsive, not restrictive, and transitioned seamlessly from the desk to the pocket. Lessons were made relevant for every kind of student. Every action received instant feedback and recognition, and the user interface was both engaging and immersive. Additionally, we ensured users could transition seamlessly from IVR to the web platform. The deepest corners of the country now had access to quality career-specific content, irrespective of bandwidth.
In these 15 days, I gained so much of confidence that I have started applying at MNCs. I perform well in 2 interviews and 2 more are lined up.
Today, the RIN Career Ready Academy is empowering an entire generation of young people with the skills and confidence to realize their ambition, not just in India, but across the globe. What started out as an initiative to empower the youth across India has now become a powerful medium to bring about social change. And that is a story worth telling.
Right. So that's really the piece of work that I was talking about. And what it really therefore is it's a mobile-enabled learning experience, if you will. And it's mobile first, it's seamless. You could start your session on an IVR, you go through some of the IVR lessons, then you realize you need to actually interact with it. You skip through to the actual platform, and that entire experience is completely seamless. And this has actually been rated amongst the top 10 mobile platforms in the country by Ansible. So as you can see, it's along the likes of Amazon as a mobile platform. Secondly, I think a big testament to the work is the Unilever CEO's Customer Centricity Award, which realizes and recognizes the fact that it is making a difference. And as you've also seen, it's something that's globally scalable. So we built this platform not just with India in mind, but we are also helping roll it out to several other emerging countries, because the same problem actually exists in countries like South Africa, Bangladesh, etc. And that's what's going on right now. So here's to helping people around the world shine. Thank you for listening.